It's time to take you through this week in Nicholls Athletics as we bring you the best of Colonel sports from Nicholls State University. This week in Nicholls Athletics is presented by State Farm Insurance. Contact your local State Farm agent today and get to a better state with State Farm Insurance.
Welcome to This Week in Nicholls Athletics, presented by State Farm Insurance. I'm Mike Wagenheim. We begin this week's program with head football coach Charlie Stubbs. This past Wednesday was National Signing Day, and the Colonels inked 14 recruits. Coach Stubbs is here to introduce us to the 2012 recruiting class. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks a lot, Mike.
A very diversified recruiting class. You go to the JUCO route for some of these, high school others. Got 8 kids coming in from the state of Louisiana. They all are good students, good athletes as well. I know you're excited about this class.
Yeah, this is basically, I guess, my first recruiting class. We got started real late with only about 2 weeks left when I was hired. But this is a very solid class, very talented, very good students. And things that I was looking for this year for sure is to get guys that really love football, because football is a tough game. I mean, it takes a lot of preparation. And then also I wanted to have young men that came from winning programs, that came from where they have some discipline and they know what it's like to win in big games. So I feel like we've got a lot of those guys, and they can help us with leadership.
You pretty much scoured for every position as well. There's a need right now at a lot of different places, especially at cornerback, because you just lost 2 very good ones to graduation, and that's going to be a tough spot to fill.
We have some young talent on the team that nobody's really seen yet. I feel good about them, but again, they're still young. I might look a little bit more because this is just the first phase of our recruiting efforts.
Let's take a look at a couple of the mid-year signees. These were guys that were already inked a few months ago. Chris Berman, the linebacker, 6 feet tall, 230 pounds, out of Hancock High School and Pearl River Community College. Take a look at some of the footage we have here on Chris.
Yeah, Chris, again, is going to play inside for us. He gives a real physical presence, which we need. Again, I thought that we needed to get a little bit bigger as a football team as a whole so that we can play more physical.
He's first team 6A All-State at Hancock as a senior, then went to Pearl River. 63 total tackles as a sophomore, 4 of those for loss, 1 forced fumble as well. That's Chris Berman, one of the mid-year signees. The other, Anthony McLean, out of Dorman High School, a community college player and a native of South Carolina. How'd you find this one?
Well, it was through our Mississippi recruiting efforts, but again, when I got the connection of South Carolina, it kind of beamed in my eyes since I'm from South Carolina. But he's a really good corner, real physical. You can see there making a big hit, but also a real good cover corner. He's about 5'11", so he's going to be able to match up a little bit better than some of our smaller corners were doing last year. He's more in the range of like Bobby Felder.
That's high praise. Sophomore had 40 tackles, 2 interceptions, graduated with a 3.4 GPA as well. He's going to fit in here with the Nicholls style of play, and again, just a hard hitter. Again, that's Anthony McLean, 5'11", 185-pound cornerback, the second of your 2 mid-year signees. We move to the defensive signees, and we take a look at Jared Bro, a defensive lineman, 6'2", 270 pounds, native of Louisiana, right down the road in Lockport, out of Central Lafourche. Tell us a little bit about Jared.
Well, again, he's such a versatile athlete. I think he played both ways for sure for their team. He was a leader. They moved him around all over. Has a great motor. I mean, plays with tremendous effort. And again, I really believe he'll make a big impact because he's a tough kid. I really believe just the weight room, a little bit more work in the weight room, he'll be able to contribute pretty early.
Saw him wearing number 53 there. Also wore 99 some. Coming here on the edge to track down this runner right here. All district 7-5A as a senior. 115 total tackles, an interception, a forced fumble, 9 sacks as a senior. He's 270 pounds and he golfs too.
I know. What a kind of combination there. You'd think that he's more maybe a shot or disc thrower, but he's out there in the links, so good for him.
Andrew Hebert, defensive lineman out of New Iberia Catholic High School. Take a look at him. He's number 55 on your screen coming up here. First team All-District, 6-2A, was also named MVP, and won the 3A state title as a power lifter as well. This guy is big and bulky.
We wanted guys that love the weight room because you got to love it to be a really good football player, and he does. He also comes from the same area as a very good physical football player. We have Segan Virginal already on the team from there. So we're starting to make some inroads into that area as a recruiting option.
Andrew wearing number 55 here. 4-year starter for the Panthers out of Catholic New Iberia. You also find a big defensive tackle, Lorenzi Young, out of George Bush High School and Cisco Junior College, native of Houston, Texas. Tell us a little bit about Lorenzo.
A little bit about him. He played every position on their defensive front for Cisco. He also is a former high school teammate of Eddie Uda, who's on our team right now, so that was a good connection. But again, I really believe he'll be very versatile for us. He's a physical presence. And again, we needed to get bigger up front on our defensive side of the ball.
Wearing number 92 here. We take a look at an offensive lineman now, Brandon Holmes, wearing number 72, 3A All-Stater 2 times out of a high school in Lubbock, Texas. What can you tell us about Brandon?
Well, he kind of recruited us in a way. It was a great combination, great fit. He's an all-state performer there in Texas. He's a real physical player. And the thing I wanted to do, too, I want to play within the rules, but he's got a little bit of nasty in him. He'll go to the echo of the whistle when he's playing. You can see him there finishing that block and then looking for some more. So, again, what we're trying to do is just get, it's a tough physical game, and I want us to have that physical presence so we're not pushed around.
He doesn't mind going after people, as you can see from that footage right there. Take a look at the running backs. Michael Henry out of Episcopal High School in Baton Rouge, one of your 8 Louisiana signees. 6'2", 215 pounds. We'll take a look at Michael wearing number 23. First-team All-Stater, was All-Metro as a linebacker as well. Also played a number of positions there at Episcopal High School. Very versatile, but you can use him as a running back, and I would envision that's what you're going to have him as.
That's what we want right now for sure as a running back, because I wanted to get a few more bigger backs, kind of like the Marcus Washingtons and things like that, because we got to be able to pick up those tough yards, those short yardage goal line situations. But he's got some explosive speed too. So again, I really believe he'll contribute early for us, either at running back or definitely in our special teams.
1,600 yards rushing, 28 touchdowns. That was named the district offensive MVP. Wide receivers, this has been a need for you. You got out, went out and found a kid out of Lafayette Northside High. This is Von Bro. We'll take a look at him. He's wearing number 16, recorded 20 catches as a senior for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Let's take a look at some of the footage we have here from Von Bro.
Hey, Von, the thing that he gives to us is that he gives us some ranginess. He's 6'3", 185, and we wanted to get a little bit taller because a lot of people that are effective in our conference play with some of those bigger receivers.
This is Von Bro coming up on the screen here. Played football, ran track for the Vikings as well. Member of the National Honor Society. Also was a very good track athlete, 400-meter, 4x200, 4x400. This Von Bro is a speedster.
Yeah, he has some legitimate track speed time, so we were able to kind of match that. That's always good to have. And you can see there he uses his hands real well as a receiver. He's not a body catcher, he's a hand catcher.
Found another wide receiver here out of Itawamba Community College by the name of Eric Buchanan, 6'3", 205 pounds. Compiled 35 receptions at Itawamba this year, 500 yards, 3 touchdowns. He'll be wearing number 2 on your screen here. What can you tell us about Eric?
Great receiver. He really is. I really believe he'll make a big impact. You can see right here on the footage we have showing here is his high school days. Again, very big, powerful receiver, got good speed, can really go up and make the high catch. And again, we just wanted to have a good combination of our receiving core. We don't mind having the smaller guys, but we want some guys that can play big also.
Again, this is Eric Buchanan.
Yeah, you'll see him here go up and make a big grab right in the corner of the end zone.
Good leaping ability. You're going to need that in Southland Conference, something the Colonels lacked a little bit last year outside of Kenyon Blair, who was lost to graduation. Take a look at some of the linebacking core you went out and recruited here. Cameron Brown out of Southern Lab in Baton Rouge, 6 feet tall, 215 pounds. He'll be wearing number 1 here. 115 total tackles this year, 5 sacks, 4 interceptions. Also had 5 offensive touchdowns, so another versatile player.
Yeah, he's a two-way performer, but we really right now like his athletic ability, and we're going to pencil him in right now in one of our outside linebacker spots. Again, I feel like he can come in and make an impact, not just at that position, but also these young guys, if we can get them and win that special teams phase, that will be big also.
Again, this is Cameron Brown out of Southern Lab in Baton Rouge, track athlete as well, and he was named All-District in football. Chris Lorden, another linebacker you found out of John Curtis Christian in New Orleans. That is a winning program. He's going to bring a winning mentality.
That's exactly. He just jumped right out. In the way of so much success at their high school program. He will also bring us leadership and toughness. We're going to play him at a linebacker position. You can see him. He plays basically in their defensive front for John Curtis, but again, got very good speed, aggressiveness. He just is a football player. So again, I expect to see him really contribute for the Colonels real quick.
wearing number 45 here for John Curtis, two-time state champion, two-time runner-up, so he knows what it's like to play in a big environment. Couple offensive linemen here. We'll take a look at Joe Bonner out of Colin Community College up in Mississippi. Joe, 6'5", 335. He's wearing uniform number 74, two-year starter at tackle and at guard, so a little versatility there as well.
He's a big man, and I mean, you see him there, number 74, pulling around, and you can see him run. He's light on his feet for being 335, if you can be that way. But I mean, I really believe he'll help us a lot. We're penciling him in right now at one of our competing to be a starter at one of our tackle positions. You can see him here getting down the field and finishing blocks. So, again, very, very good young man.
That's, again, Joe Bonner, big offensive lineman out of the state of Mississippi, out of Hazelhurst High School. Gary Bruce, 6'3", 270-pounder from South Lafourche, cutoff native. That's Dustin Gisclair territory, and the Colonels finding an offensive lineman out there. Let's take a look at Gary. He's wearing number 78, first-team All-District as a senior, and played here in the Bayou River All-Star Classic here on campus just a few weeks ago. What can you tell us about Gary?
Well, we're super excited to have him. We already have Rafe Plaisance on our team and Mark Mayberry from South Lafourche High School. So just getting another, I know they'll bring toughness. They got great work ethics. They'll show up all the time and prepare well, and I expect him to prepare well. He's got a nice frame right now. We'll get him a little bit stronger, and then I really believe he'll contribute for the Colonels.
And a quarterback that a lot of people are excited about, Christopher Dash Duncan out of St. Michael in Baton Rouge. He'll be wearing number 16 here as we bring up the footage of Dash Duncan. He got hurt last year and kind of disappeared off of some schools' radars. A lot of fans are thinking you got to find here and a steal in Dash Duncan.
I really believe that also. The biggest thing is he came to a few of our games during this past season on unofficial visits and really showed a lot of interest in us, and we did in him. Again, he's more of a pocket-type quarterback, got a strong arm, got some great recommendations of men that have worked with him. Again, a great student. I mean, an excellent student, and really loves football. So I know he'll do all the film work and all the extra thing it needs to happen for a quarterback to be successful.
Not just a terrific quarterback, but academic All-State as well. I know that's important.
That's very important to me. Very important to me, and I really believe you can go a long ways. Especially, you know, what we want to do is just have kids that we can count in and year out. And I know that we got a great core in this group.
14 signees, but the recruiting season is not quite over yet. I know you're still trying to fill a few needs and see what you can get here over the next couple months. Your job isn't done quite yet.
No, we've got some good things going right now. We just can't announce them right now, but soon we'll be able to, and we'll definitely keep our fan base informed of what's going on, but we'll have a few more things to add to this 2012 class.
Coach, we look forward to it. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you very much.
Head coach of the Colonels, Charlie Stubbs, joining us here on This Week in Nicholls Athletics, presented by State Farm Insurance. We'll be back with a whole lot more, including tennis and basketball. That's on the way. Stay with us.
There goes Dwayne's car. There goes Dwayne's house. And there goes Dwayne.
Man, that thing does not like Dwayne.
State Farm's got you covered.
In Thibodaux, call Doug Robichaux. And in Luling, call Keith Davis.
Get to a better state.
The game of tennis is a way for people to stay active and hang out with friends, but for others, it's a way of life. The Colonels' men's and women's tennis teams are in full swing for the spring season. After preparing for the spring campaign with the year-round competition, the Colonels are eager to start off the season right. Head coach Minoshki Sundaram and assistant coach Dmitry Lebedev have recruited a diverse amount of flair for their team. By mixing experienced players with raw talent from around the world, they've crafted a solid combination of student athletes. Lebedev, formerly a nationally ranked doubles player at the University of Arkansas, is in his first year at Nicholls. He has helped to add players of great skill and aptitude.
Definitely, yeah. You gotta have some talented guys, of course, to be able to play high, and you gotta have always gotta have a guy on the team or a girl on the team who's got a huge heart, who's loud in the court, you know, who pumps everyone up, you know. It's a great bunch of guys. Absolutely love them. The guys all got huge hearts, and pleasure to work with them.
Junior Roy Knight enters his third season with the Colonels. An established Englishman, Knight was among the 20 highest-ranked players in the UK. Last season, he was named first-team All-Southland Conference for doubles. Knight believes good things are in store for the Colonels this spring.
Well, unfortunately, last season I actually only played a few matches. I was actually injured. I got injured in February, and I didn't play to the end of April. But the team, there was a young team last year. I think we did pretty well, but it was obviously an inexperienced team, so we maybe lost a few matches we wouldn't now. So I reckon we're going to do a lot better this season than in the past season. We have Sidar Sivakuma, he came in August, and we also have Guillermo Collado. Those two came in August. Apart from that, it's pretty much the same team. But hopefully those guys can do well for us too.
Knight doesn't come from a traditional tennis background. Growing up in a remote area allowed him fewer playing opportunities. It leads to a unique style of play that he has honed successfully.
I would say I'm more unorthodox than most of the players on the team. I didn't have as much coaching when I was younger, so I sort of taught myself to play. I would say I'm not so much. I don't hit the ball so hard as some of the people that I might come up against, but I use a lot of I rely on a bit of skill and moving the ball around the court, and I have quite good hands. Where I don't lack in power, I would say I have better hands than most people. That's more my style.
Lebedev sees Knight as a unique player who has a strong feel not only for his own game, but for those of his teammates and opponents.
He's a very technical player. He's got good hands, good volleys. He knows how to figure out the opponent, if you know what I mean. So he'll find their flaws in their game and he'll work them.
The men's teams displays power in their game, while the strength of the women's team lies in their agility. Freshman Jana Leeuwijk, a talented freshman from the Netherlands, is one of 4 newcomers on the women's roster. Her amazing serve and technique landed her a spot at Nicholls.
Jana, huge hitter, beautiful serve, beautiful strokes. Yeah, very aggressive. Absolutely love the way she plays.
I like to play aggressive. I can't always play aggressive though, because sometimes my opponent's strokes are very hard. So, and then I have the tendency to go back in my game and be forced to not play aggressive. But I think my serve is quite good because I'm tall, and so I can use that to set up the point and then finish the point as early as I can.
The men's and women's rosters are dotted with players from 10 different countries. While the program has a strong international tradition, it will soon feature an American for the first time in several years. Local talent Rachel Howie, a state doubles champion and native of Mandeville, Louisiana, is the program's newest recruit.
She came down for a recruiting visit, and absolutely loved the personality, great kid, and saw the video, the way she played, very aggressive, great serve as well, and just would love to have her here.
The Colonels realize the path to success this season will not be without its challenges. They are gaining an understanding of what it takes to compete on a consistent basis.
First, you got to be talented. Secondly, you got to be free from injuries, and you have to have your head straight, because if it doesn't work here, it doesn't work on the court.
I think it's just some hard work, a lot of hard work. You've got to play a lot of matches, because hitting a lot of balls doesn't really make much of a difference unless you're playing matches. You've got to compete and win. I would say that's the main thing, is just playing a lot of matches.
You're encouraged to come out and support the Colonels here on campus next Saturday, February 11th. The women compete at 10 a.m. against UL Monroe, while the men's team takes to the court at 1 o'clock in the afternoon to face Florida A&M. For This Week in Nicholls Athletics, I'm Ashley Bull.
Thank you very much, Ashley. We'll check in on Nicholls men's and women's hoops when we return. Stay with us.
There goes Dwayne's car. There goes Dwayne's house. And there goes Dwayne.
Man, that thing does not like Dwayne.
State Farm's got you covered.
In Lockport, call Ashley Barrios. And in Homa, call Travis Gravois.
Get to a better state.
Back here with you on This Week in Nicholls Athletics, presented by State Farm Insurance. Let's check in on some Nicholls hoops. The Colonel men visited Lamar last Saturday. The Montaigne Center in Beaumont has given Nicholls fits over the years. Their only victory in 15 tries there coming in 2009. The Cardinals, under new head coach Pat Knight, entered the matchup with 4 players averaging double-figure scoring averages, 2 players among the top 10 in the league in rebounding. Mike James putting up 16.5 points per night. Gets a skip pass here and lines up for the 3. And after an early Colonel lead, it's 11-10 Lamar. Devon Lamb, 3rd in the league in steals. The breakaway here and the alley-oop coming back to Lamb. The Cards are up 3 about 8 minutes in. Now Trevon Lewis for Nicholls here up top, swings it to Brian Hammond and back out to Jeremy Smith for the bonus ball. Smith would score 11 in this one for the red and gray. Nicholls down 6, 9 minutes left in the half. Shane Rillier, top key, over to Sam McBeth, feeding Dantrell Thomas for the turnaround paint jumper, but Lamar goes on a 17-6 run, and they're up by 15 at the half. Early second half, Rillier outlets to Hammond. He led Nicholls with 19 points, one shy of a career high, but Lamar steps on the gas. Lamb and Brandon Davis work the give and go. Lamb with the finish, he scored 11. Lamar disrupting Hammond in close here, coming up on this next clip. And Davis with the rebound, ahead to Miles for the pull-up 3. Cardinals shot 62% from the field. And the Colonels could never get within striking distance. Trevon Lewis was held scoreless, and Nicholls falls by a final of 80-56. So, in desperate need of a win to keep their hopes of a Southland Conference tournament berth alive, Nicholls hosted Texas A&M Corpus Christi on Wednesday. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from that one. First minute of action, Shane Rillier finding Thomas here for the bonus ball. And DT is on his way to a monster game as Rillier dishes out and Thomas hits from the wing. Midway through a back-and-forth first half, the Islanders' Myron Dempsey blocks Brian Hammond's leaner. Hamid Ali pushes it up the floor, dishing to Terrence Jones for the 3-ball. Corpus Christi up 16-12. Now Lyndon Smith-Hyde here enters the ball to Smith. Back out to Sam McBeth at the top of the key. Nicholls up 19-16. This game featured 15 lead changes. McBeth fronting Dempsey. He steals the entry pass and then does more damage on the other end. Getting the ball from Hammond, another long-distance connection. Sam with 18 points, 7 boards, and 2 steals. The Colonels are up 3 at the break. Under 15 minutes to play now. Colonels working around the perimeter, feeding Lewis. 3 defenders have a shot at him. Nobody can stop him. 38-34 Nicholls after Trevon scores the ball. The Islanders tie it up, and then with 10 minutes remaining, Jones misses from the corner here, but Chris Hawkins-Mast is there for the putback, and the Colonels are down a deuce. The lead would change hands 5 times over the next 3 minutes. Colonels back up now. Thomas and Hammond play catch. DT drives the lane, flips it, and it drops on through. 56-52, good guys. Under a minute to go now. The lead is 4, but the Colonels turn it over. Jason Smith corrals it and goes coast to coast, and we've got ourselves a one-possession game. But Nicholls goes 6 for 6 from the line in the final minute. DT's free throw with 3 seconds left extends the lead back to 4, and the Colonels pull out a 65-61 win. Next up, they'll host Texas State today at 3:30. The Nicholls women's basketball team hosted Lamar last Saturday. The Lady Cardinals had claimed victory in each of the last 7 meetings between the teams. Early action here, Lamar up to KK Babbitt, left forecourt. Gets the pick from Leanne McCarthy and dishes to her for the 3. McCarthy registered a career-high 24 points. Summer Leslie pushes it up the floor, giving to Babin for the bonus ball. Nicholls up 14-4. KK was a rebound shy of a double-double. Lamar's Bertika Mock high post sends it to Gia Ayers. Trying to feed, there's nothing there, so Ayers pulls the trigger. She was 2 assists short of a triple-double. Colonels up 5 midway through the half. Then Nicholls with the breakaway. Leslie with the steal, and she outraces the defense going in for the layup. Summers scored 14. Nicholls up 14 at the break. But Lamar with a furious rally. Final 5 minutes, Ayers top key, trying to break down Babin one-on-one into the paint here. Misses initially, but then cleans it up, and the Lady Cards are within 2 points. Next, Nicholls possession off the inbounds. They work it around the perimeter, and Alicia Allen's screen frees up Leslie for the corner three, 63-58 Nicholls. Last minute, Lamar keeping it close. Ayers and Khalees Lloyd work the pick and roll. Lloyd with a finish, 12 points and 11 boards for her, and the Colonels' lead is just 3 points. But Leslie on the dribble drive spots McCarthy here slipping to the block. That puts Nicholls up 5, and that would be more than enough. 70-64 your final. Leanne McCarthy went on to take Louisiana Sports Writers Association Player of the Week honors. Unfortunately, the going wasn't quite as good on Wednesday night. Let's take it to Corpus Christi, Texas, the Colonels and the Islanders. Nicholls grabbing the early edge. Babin with the steal here. Ahead to Leslie for the leaner in close. Summer with another big game. She scored 14. Corpus Christi would grab their first lead here. Brandy Huff finds Verniqua Taylor for the 15-foot jumper. Taylor put a game-high 20 on the board. Colonels down as many as 8. Come out of the scrum here with the basketball. And Allen whips it to Babin for the 3. And it's a 1-possession game. But the Islanders would pull away late in the half. Zoe Vega knocks down the mid-range shot, and the Colonels go into halftime trailing by 11. Now the Colonels come out swinging in the second half. McCarthy snags the board. Colonels working ahead to Allen. The finish and the foul. Alicia scored 11. The Colonels would get within 2, but no closer. Vega penetrates and spots Taylor. The kiss off the glass, and the Islanders up 7. Nicholls would keep it close. Leslie, looking for an open teammate here, decides to take care of business herself, and she finishes at the rim. She was one of 4 Colonels in double figures. But Vega seals the deal here with a corner 3. She registered 14 points and 12 rebounds. Nicholls at 4-4 in the Southland, visiting Texas State at 2 o'clock this afternoon. So an up and down week for the Colonels on both the men's and the women's side. Don't forget, tickets are available for all upcoming men's and women's home games. You can give us a call to reserve your tickets in advance, 985-448-4790. That's 985-448-4790. Or you can log on to Ticketmaster.com. All the information you need to follow the Colonels throughout the year available on our official website, GEAUX. That's GoColonels.com. Check it out every single day for the latest on Nicholls Athletics. That's going to do it for this week's show. We'll talk to you again next Saturday here on Cox Sports Television at 10:30. For Ashley Bull and Philip Boudreau, and for Coach Charlie Stubbs, I'm Mike Wagenheim. Have a great weekend.
Today's show has been brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Contact your local State Farm agent today and get to a better state with State Farm Insurance. This has been a presentation of the Colonel Sports Network.